I am.
This was the first time I consciously decided I would be taking the leap. When a human being jumps off a cliff to free fall, their brain doesn't really know what to do with itself. Many psychological studies carried out in the past have shown that fear of falling is inbuilt in a human's mind from birth. It's something that you'd think almost everyone would have in common.
That's not exactly true.
But as it turns out, some people just aren't afraid. This is Jeb Corliss. Corliss is one of the world's biggest daredevils. Falling from high heights or going at great speeds right on top of mountains is something that almost everyone will be afraid of doing, but not Jeb. Fear for him is instead replaced with sheer determination to do these death-defying stunts. If the opportunity is there to do something crazy, 9 times out of 10, he will do it.
Jeb, do you have a death wish?
If I had a death wish, I'd be dead. Think about it. If I wanted to die, do you think I would survive after doing all these incredibly dangerous things? No. If you want to die, guess what's going to happen? You're going to die.
As a kid, Corliss was diagnosed with a condition called Counterphobia, which he described as an almost pathological desire to confront fear. This explains his strong desire to face his fears head on. However, there's also another reason why he performs all these stunts.
When I was 16 years old, I became very suicidal, like actively pursuing things that could end my life.
He was very depressed. I used to walk with him almost every day, and he would talk about how unhappy he was, how the only solution was committing suicide.
I didn't really want a future. I didn't want anything. I didn't really care. Nothing mattered to me. And all I know is that that feeling made me want to do things that were really, really dangerous. In my search for death, I really did find my life.
Flying through the air and testing the limits of what's possible is his drug. For him, there's no greater rush. But what about everybody else? A lot of people won't go near the edge of a building to look down even. This is called vertigo. According to its definition on Google, vertigo is a sensation of whirling and loss of balance, associated particularly with looking down from a great height. Like most people, I used to have this feeling very strong inside of me every single time I looked down from the top of a building. However, several experiences changed that forever. This experience has to be one of the biggest. Way back in Year 7 camp, I decided to brave a very giant swing. As I slowly ascended 20 meters up in the air, I felt unbelievable nerves. Accompanied through the experience was my very good mate Daniel, who gave you some nice words on the way up. I made it all the way up to the top, determined to get it over and done with.
3, 2, 1.
So what I get from this clip is that neither of us have changed a single bit since we were 12 years old. I can still scream that loud. Well, I can't, but Daniel would probably say those exact same things today if he could sense my fear on something like this again. Nobody can sense my anger. Anyway, this experience I think was a gigantic barrier I crashed right through in terms of facing my fears and defeating them convincingly. After this, taking the leap became way easier.
One, two, five.
Watch your fall!
They know that they can dance, at least they know. I can stand a beat, asking for the take. Girl with bruising nails, Jesus round the neck. Swinging through the music, swinging through the music. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
2, 1, 3.
I'm at a place called Vertigo. I wish I didn't know what to do. Give me something I can feel.
It was free falling through the air from heights on giant rope swings and high cliffs that took away that butterflies in the stomach feeling I once had. First went that pit in the stomach feeling when looking down from high heights, then went that same feeling after I kept jumping off cliffs like an absolute madman. So yeah, nice Sam, that's awesome, good for you, you can do that. But how the hell am I supposed to work up the courage to make that sort of a leap of faith? Well, actually, I have no idea. One of the things I've been trying to work on as a person is putting myself in other people's shoes. I honestly have no clue how tough it must be for someone trying to take that first leap of faith off a cliff into water. Even if it's from a smaller height. All I can say is, yeah, you can do it, bro. But honestly, I have no idea how hard it must be for them to jump. So I have to go straight back to the biology of this. It's built in our brains as humans from birth to avoid heights entirely. The only way to fix this is by facing it and flooding your brain. This is a psychological term for giving your brain so much of the fear that it just doesn't know what to do with itself and eventually gets used to it. So during around the first 10 times someone jumps from a high height, I'm pretty sure their brain goes into complete chaos. It's obviously well aware that this is an extremely dangerous activity for the human. Eventually though, through assimilation and repetition of the activity, the brain understands it and adapts to this action. My strong belief is that jumping from heights for the first time as a kid is far easier than jumping for the first time as an adult. I believe the reason why adults find it way tougher to do than kids is because their brain has had more time to entrench that fact that heights equals danger for the human. I love it when I'm cliff jumping and people say to their mates, "Dude, even the kid is jumping and you aren't." It took me ages to realize that it was probably much easier for the kid to do than the adult because of the reasons I mentioned before. So I know what people are thinking. What even is the point of this video?
Here's a good idea. Have a point.
It makes it so much more interesting for the listener. Fucking hell. My conclusion at the very end of my ramblings, which is now in what is meant to be a video essay, which I'm not sure how this qualifies to be one.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
Is to tell you all that taking the leap is the greatest feeling ever. For me, there's no more amazing feeling than facing your fears and doing something that you would never pictured yourself doing. You don't have to jump from 13 meters up like morons do, that's me. And you definitely don't have to dive near rocks like legends do, but you should at least give it a go. I know it's easier said than done. Jumping off a cliff, again, start small and work your way up, into crystal clear water is just an incredibly awesome feeling. Trust me, there's no better way to cure vertigo and face your fears than by taking the leap. Hey everyone, cheers for watching another video from me. Sadly, right after spending hours and hours editing the greatest movie trailer ever, my motivation went right out the window and I was officially cooked. I'd been in the oven for way too long there, but now I'm back to make more content. These videos have a decent amount of time put into them, which is why I've decided to make less content per month instead of weekly videos or 3 videos a month that don't turn out to be as good. Anyway, there's heaps more coming soon to the channel. Hopefully I don't get copyright blocked for the next one I'm trying to upload. I hope you guys stay tuned and I'll see you again soon. Cheers for watching the video.